That's it. We're back. Champions League football continues on as we plow through part 2 of the round of 16. There's some interesting fixtures this week. Matt, we had a really successful week last week in Europe, I should say, and we're looking to carry it on into this match day. How you feeling about it, Matt?
I'm excited for these matches. There's loads of quality all over the pitch. I mean, Manchester City versus Real Madrid could easily be a final or a semifinal. So it's excitement, really, is what I'm feeling.
Yeah, I mean, there's really a lot out there this week, some big matchups. Obviously, we're going to touch on it. Manchester City, Real Madrid, probably the biggest one you're going to see. But before we get started, let's go ahead and recap. Again, I'm Cody Gelhausen at Squid's Pick. With me is Matt J. Lawrence on Twitter. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching live, thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. And before we get started, I kind of just want to, touch on our records a little bit. As you can see, scrolling across the bottom, in the year 2020, wrong one. In the year 2020, Matt's record is 88, 65, and 9 with a whopping 17.26 units of profit. And riding his coattails right behind him is me. My record is 199, 97, and 9 at 7.44 units. So we're in the green. We've been in the green all year. We haven't dipped below the Mendoza line. We haven't been in the red the entire season. So we're going to ride that out. Matt, you're doing incredible. I got to hand it to you.
It's been fun, Cody. I mean, you and I just breaking down these match weeks, each and every week. It's been, when you put a couple good minds together, you can, and what you're doing really, and just how to, be responsible with your betting in a sense. And, you're not laying big prices on big favorites and whatnot. Exactly. You're just trying to find the value. That is what we strive for week in, week out. So it's great.
Yeah, and I obviously screwed my numbers there. Obviously, I'm not 199 and 97 and 9. Apologies there. It was a quick put together. 97, 93, and 9. Apologies, folks. The units still stand the same. And we can go ahead and just move right on into these matches if you want to. First match that I want to cover here, it's going to be Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They're going to host Bayern Munich. Looking at this match, two heavyweights of their respective leagues, two giants. Looking at the match right now, Bayern Munich, at the start of the day, I saw them at minus 126 on 5 dimes. Right now, going into tomorrow, they're at minus 118 as the favorites. Chelsea at home are plus 321 on the money line. Over-under is sitting at 3 goals, shaded to the under, of course, at minus 114. I know I have a look on this match. Matt, do you have anything you want to let me know about before I get going?
I love this match. This one is fantastic. Seriously, with it being at Stamford Bridge, this is Chelsea's Champions League season right here in a nutshell on a Tuesday night in London. So the big bad boys of Munich are going to come in here, and they've been very successful against English competition over the years. So it's just a great one to break down with you. Yeah, I've got a play on it, so I'm ready to rock and roll whenever you are.
Yeah, I have a play as well. I'm pretty sure we're going consensus here, unless you've changed things up recently. Am I wrong or am I right here?
I've got 2 bets on this match.
Oh, all right. I won't spoil the crowd then. I'll go ahead and take the reins here because I'm pretty straightforward when it comes to this one. I'm as square as SpongeBob on these bets coming up this week, by the way. But the first one I'm laying is Bayern Munich on the money line. I like the price at minus 123. I like it even better at minus 118. I think it's a really good spot. You look at Bayern Munich, the reason I like them so much, they have been hot. They are rolling right now. And what this year is a really deep Bundesliga. I mean, the point separation between first and 10th is so minimal, and Bayern Munich sits on top, winning 10 of their last 11. And the one match they did draw was to RB Leipzig, who was a top 4 team in that league. Going away from home, as you know, especially going into London, they take care of business. They slaughtered Tottenham 7-2 in London. I've freaking enjoyed that match. Serge Gnabry, what did he get? 4 goals in that one? It made my heart melt. I think they're going to come back to London with something to prove. They're 12-2-3 this year away from the Allianz Arena on the road. I love that spot. But what I like the most is this front 3 you're going to get from Bayern Munich. And you could interchange the last one, but you're definitely going to have Serge Gnabry. Lewandowski is going to be central. He is leading the league or Champions League with 10 goals already this year in UCL. Nobody's even touching him on that end. And I think Kingsley Coman could also feature. And slotting in right behind Lewandowski is Mueller. Mueller has had a renaissance season. He's back to his form from a few years ago. What am I talking about there? Mueller has found that form with 7 goals and 15 assists in all competitions. If I'm not correct, I believe he only is behind Kevin De Bruyne in assists this year in the top 5 leagues, which is incredible for a player like him. Lewandowski relies on him. He's got 35 goals in 28 matches across league and Champions League. And then, where else are you going to look? The defense worries me a bit, but I think they're going to get some serious anchor back with Hernandez and featuring over Boateng. And you should have Pavard and the Canadian blanking on his name right now, but good young player. Mason.
The Canadian. Alphonso Davies.
Alphonso Davies, that's right. Good player. He's good to get it forward. He's essentially a converted winger. I'm, loving this Bayern Munich team. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. There's more. I want to say some things about Chelsea, but I'm going to hand it to you on what you have here.
Really? So are you on Bayern or?
Oh, I'm playing Bayern on the money line. I think they're going to win this match. Okay. Absolutely am.
Yeah, I like that play a lot. This was a match that a couple weeks ago, this is another thing about the Champions League is if you like something, you needed to take it a while ago because you could have seen Bayern Munich at a plus price here just 2 weeks ago. Now you're seeing the steam come in, and I think the steam is pointing in the right direction. Chelsea have not been good enough in the last few weeks and months. They've been, kind of stumbling a little bit in the league. They got a nice win, though, at the weekend against Spurs. So that should give them some confidence here. But for me in this match, the first things first, I see goals. I see over 3 goals right now at even odds. And that is my first bet of this match. You're just talking about open football here, I think. Unless Frankie, obviously Frankie Lampard, if he wants to keep this tight and try and just stumble into the second leg, then maybe we could see this game go under the number. But their defense hasn't been good enough all year. Goalkeeping issues, as we know. And I think that Bayern have the ability to score 4 on their own. So for me, that's my first bet of this match. And the second one, I'm playing the squid special here, Cody.
Oh,
I know. I am. I think that Chelsea can get on the score sheet. Bayern still haven't proven enough to me in terms of their defense on the road all season, really. They just went on the road on Friday night to Paderborn and gave up 2. I think that Chelsea here at the Bridge should be able to not, or slot 1 in the back of the net here. And I think that it's squid special territory. I'm seeing plus 230 on the squid special. I could have grabbed 270 a few weeks ago, but I'm fine with 230.
Let the young bloods know what the squid special is.
So the squid special, folks, yeah, seriously, is both teams to score, and then you pick a winner. So I'm on both teams to score. I think that they both find the back of the net, and I think that the German side can grab this one on the road. And this kind of value, the Champions League, I'm on it.
No, and the squid special, I love to see it out there, especially when you're taking it. It fills me with joy, and it's got more juice. The squid special's got more juice than Mark McGuire in the 90s. I mean, it's a good spot. You're always going to get great odds. I'm backing you there. Because I don't see Chelsea getting blanked in this one. Bayern Munich isn't some team that sits in there and defends really well. They're not. They typically do allow a few goals, especially when they travel on the road. But they fill that thing up. I said the same thing earlier today. I think they could easily get 4 goals alone. I'd rather just play it safe and pick them to win because I think there's a no doubter in that aspect, especially when there's no Conte in this lineup. With Conte being out, I don't think they have a prayer. It's such a noticeable difference when Conte is out of their lineup. It slaps you in the face. I
agree with you. That's a huge miss.
And on the wings, they're light. Pulisic is out, Pedro's out, and Hudson-Odoi is working back into fitness. I don't expect him to play. There's 3 wingers that they don't have. And Giroud may be starting up front. I know Tammy Abraham, he should be healthy.
Yeah.
He's worked back in, but
this is not a Giroud match. I love Giroud. As we know, I mean, he's a French international. he's a sub,
Yeah.
he's a substitute. That's what he is. He comes in and can affect the game in 15 to 20 minutes of time. But over the course of 60, 70, 80, 90 minutes with this kind of Champions League quality, he is not what I want to see for Chelsea. I would rather see the youngster and Abraham give a go here.
Yeah, if he's fit, he's obviously going to play. He came on late last week, right?
Yeah, he came on late.
I mean, he should play, but for any reason, fitness test, whatever. If you see Giroud and Mason Mount and Willian as your front three, that is abysmal for a round of 16 team in the biggest tournament in the world in football. You don't want that. But yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot there. And you did touch on this. I don't know if you want to talk about this real quick. Talking about looking ahead to matches, a week ahead. So we're getting a few people watching in live here. Do you see anything you like moving ahead real quick, just to segue into the second leg of these matches we just saw last week in Champions League?
Yeah, we talked about it today. I've already locked in Leipzig at home against Tottenham. I found that price at around -125. I think it's a fair price for how they dominated Spurs in London. Now you're going to get them in Germany, and it was one-way traffic in the first leg. I expect nothing else here in the second.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also we were talking about it. I took Leipzig as well. I also took PSG on the money line because I think that's going to move. I'd have to look it up. I believe it was 150 to 156. I think that's going to close around 170 to 180. I think they're going to take some serious hits there. And
I would expect that one to close at the bare minimum -175. Even though Dortmund are kind of in a renaissance moment right now, especially with some of the moves that they've brought in, they're in good form.
But you said it a million times. This is, and even before I truly believed in it, the Parc des Princes is so difficult to walk into.
I think it's the most underrated ground in Europe. I'll stand by that. I think that the Parc des Princes, when it gets up and rocking, it's the real deal.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, you could be right because I doubted that for a long time. But man, the proof is in the pudding there. But yeah, I just want to touch on that before we head over to the second match of the day tomorrow on Tuesday. Napoli. What a whirlwind Napoli has been. Ancelotti gets let go. They're horrible in league. They still qualify through the group stages. They draw Barcelona. When they draw Barcelona, everybody's undoubtedly saying Barcelona is going to walk through them. And here we are a couple months later. And this thing is, in my opinion, it's a toss-up. Barcelona comes in with injury problems. We're going to be at the San Paulo, a difficult place to go play. What are you going to do in this match, Matt? Yeah, I mean, this is a very difficult situation.
This is a really tough match.
It really is a tough one.
I've got to admit. I mean, it could go over. It could go under. I could see either of these sides winning. When the card first initially came out, Napoli were ones that I circled as the biggest price, the biggest underdog to win a match. It was Napoli for me. That was the one thing I circled. Barcelona's Champions League road woes are well documented.
Yeah,
Cody. They are 1, 2, and 5 in their last Champions League road matches, and they're even worse traveling to Italy.
Yep.
I wish that Koulibaly was here for Napoli. I really do. I know that his partnership with Manolas has been, they've underperformed, I guess you could say, at the beginning of the year. I thought that was the best center back partnership in Europe. And I was really, excited for that. But in this one, for me, Napoli have picked up some steam in terms of recent form. Gattuso isn't a manager that I specifically really fond, but there is no doubt that there's no doubt that he gives an emotional side to this Napoli team. And this Napoli team in a knockout stage, I don't care if there's Koulibaly or not, they are not going to be easy to pass through, especially here at the Sao Paulo, where they've been a great home side. They're starting, now they're, I think, in 6th place in Italy when they were in 11th.
Yeah, they're in 11th.
Weeks ago. So what have they won? 6 of 7, I believe.
They have won. They've won 5 of 6 of 7.
6 of 7 here for Napoli here. For me, I'm on Napoli here at a plus quarter of a goal start Give it to me at minus 105 right now. If this match ends in a draw, I win half my stake. I'm going to take the home side here. I know that when you get Barcelona at this kind of price, it is really, really hard to turn down.
Yep.
But it feels like a trap. I'm not getting Luis Suarez in this lineup. That's who I need. I need a talisman. I know that Messi is Messi. He's the best player in the world, but I need Suarez with him. Suarez is still the talisman of this squad. And when you're not giving me a fully fit Suarez, you're giving me a newly additioned person in Griezmann. I still think that they have to work out some chemistry issues there. And Napoli, just when they get in these type of moments and this type of home support, they're really tough to beat. I've watched them 4 times over the last 2 years against Liverpool, and they have given Liverpool their money's worth every single time. If I get that kind of Napoli here, I'm kind of convinced they could win this match.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so tough for me. When this draw came out, I looked at this and I thought Barcelona are going to have zero issue advancing. Barcelona going to Napoli, they're going to get most likely a result. And now here we sit in Napoli, like you said, 6 of 7. The only thing that worries me about Napoli is they've won 6 of 7, sure, but in league, and this is incredible, they've done their damage on the road. In league, they have lost 5 of their last 6 matches at home, partly because the managerial situation turned so sour at Sao Paulo that they almost wanted to be away from home. It was that bad. And Gattuso, I liked him at Milan. He walked away from Milan. It's not like he got sacked. He was doing a good job there. He walked away, waited for a good spot. He took over the Napoli team. A slow start, sure, but he got it going again. I mean, he's done a great job. That's how he's a good manager. I really like him. I mean, he's emotional. I think his tactics could take some work, but he's got so much talent in the side. It's a good fit. That's why I like it, and it's really paid off. If I'm going anywhere in this match, I'm actually going on the over. The over 2.5 goals right now. I believe it's at minus 135. Let me get the updated odds here.
Yeah, no, it's right around that number. I like that play as well. That's the thing with this week is it's very on the surface looks like a very trappy card. You have the 4 best, the 4 better sides here are on the road. I think it's clear cut. Barcelona's better than Napoli. Bayern Munich's better than Chelsea. Juventus is definitely better than Lyon. And I think that City are better than Real Madrid. So we're going to find out who has the cojones to go on the road in the Champions League and pull out a result.
And you saw the same thing last week. Road teams, I mean, I can't say they're better. Obviously, PSG going to Dortmund, but I don't know. It's tough. I mean, Leipzig got the win away to Tottenham. You don't know. And I just look at talent here. I mean, because when you're a team that's at home in an aggregate situation, you can't leave home without some sort of result, whether it's goals or win. You need one of 2. So Napoli can't afford to just sit in. First of all, that's not how they play. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
In Barcelona, the reason I really liked them over 2.5 goals, one, defensively away from home, they're not very good. You look at their last few matches in La Liga, they just allowed 2 goals to Betis. They lost 2-0 to Valencia, allowed 2 to Espanyol, 2 to Sociedad. They've allowed 2 goals to the opposing team away from home in their last 4 matches. They're not great at it. And Napoli is not a good team defensively at home. They allowed 3 to Lecce, which was a horrific match. They allowed 1 to Juve. Fiorentina got 2, and Inter Milan got 3. So it's a concoction. If you're a numbers person, a trends person, you're looking right there. But there's something about it that just it doesn't sit right with me because defensively away from home, they've been so good. It should translate. So again, I'm not playing this one. That's the way I'm leaning. I like 2.5 goals, but at that price, minus 135, it's very difficult to get on board. Very difficult.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And, when I look at these 4 matches too, I get more and more excited about the Europa League on Thursday because I got to say that these lines are sharp as they get. and you don't want to go crazy on them. You really don't, because you could be sitting there, if you're especially here in America, there's a lot of other things to bet on, and you start that day off on a poor slate in Champions League, you could be in real trouble here. So, for me,
the lines are tough.
The lines are sharp as they
sharper than an Eskimo's tits, dude. Like it's a tough place to get in and find your spots. That's why I'm square as it can be this week, and you're going to see it coming in the next few matches. But
yeah, it's either going to go really good or maybe really bad. We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
The true tale of a better.
The thing is, though, man, these matches are great. Cody, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but it'd be great if we get together for these, because I'm not going to be here on Wednesday. So
might catch a pint with a lad.
Yeah, that might be nice. That might be nice.
Yeah, it would. But yeah. Oh, and you touched on Griezmann before we close this match out. Anton Griezmann, I had an issue with the way he was being played this season. He's being played out wide. He's not a wide player. He's actually not very good at it. Since Suarez got injured and he played centrally, he's been doing a really good job. It's going to sound bad. The numbers don't even back it up, but I prefer Griezmann centrally
to Suarez.
And being in the lineup to Suarez.
First of all, Suarez is getting older, and
it's not that if you're going to shoehorn both of them in, like you're wasting a wide player and playing Griezmann out wide. You might as well.
I don't like Griezmann out wide, anyways. I think his best. He's terrible out wide. I don't disagree with you really. I just think obviously Suarez isn't getting any younger, so you might be right here. I think that at this moment in time today, February 24th of 2020, I think Griezmann might be a better player than Suarez.
But Suarez is excellent. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say Barcelona are better with Suarez out. It's idiotic.
Yeah.
But if you're going to put them all three in, it's idiotic to play. If Griezmann's going to be in the lineup, he should be playing centrally, because what he does, he picks up the ball deep. He sucks those players in. Messi's going to have a free reign tomorrow, I think, in my opinion. They're going to be looking at him. Messi, anytime goal scorer, is at -110, and that is a direct slap in the face to Lionel Messi. A direct slapperoo.
He's on the road here. If you're going to take Lionel Messi anytime goal scorer, you might as well just take Barcelona at +120.
If they score, he's going to score. I mean, it's Fati, Griezmann, Messi.
I'd consider Griezmann at a plus price there. Do you have?
I think he's +121 when I looked. I don't have it in front of me, but I was looking at it.
That's not a good enough price.
But
yeah, I mean the over 2.5 goals looks pretty good as well. Something just the line has really moved in Napoli's favor over the last couple of weeks.
That line freaks me out, and I don't want any part of that match, man.
It's a tough one.
I do want a part of the next match.
Yeah.
Lyon at the Groupama are going to host Juventus, the old lady. It's a strange match to cap when you sit there and look at it. Let me go ahead and pull it up here. Lyon, injury problems. They've been, decimated with it for a couple of weeks now, and it's going to carry on over to the Champions League. Juventus are the favorites at -106. Lyon at +342. The over-under is at 2.5 goals, and it's shaded to the under at -125. I'll go ahead and rock this one out with my thoughts on this. And I do have a play. I am going to play Juve on the money line at -106. I think, this is one of the most prestigious clubs in the world, going on the road to a Lyon team that is struggling in France, 11th in the table, at least on the weekend they're 11th. They haven't been good all year. Their forwards, they're absolutely decimated, like I said, with injuries. Memphis Depay's out, Kone's out, and Jeffrey Adelaide, ex-Arsenal striker, is also out, who was big money signing. Soleil is out, and ex-United fullback Raphael is also out of this lineup. You have 5 players that are not going to play on the weekend. One of them's questionable. I mean, and you look at Lyon, they've only won 1 of their last 6 home matches. They lack firepower up front. I don't know where their goals will come from, if they can even get the service. And Juve, oh, mighty Juve, Ronaldo, unquestionably still as in form as ever. He has scored in 9 straight matches. He's found his boots in Italy. He's found the boots in Turin. I think he's going to carry it on in France, and he's going to absolutely decimate this Lyon squad. Bonucci's back, huge lift, one of the best players in that club's history, one of the best center halves in that club's history. I love it. Their firepower up front will crush them. Juve concede 0.67 goals per match in the UCL this season. It's going to be a 2-3-0 Juve roll, and I'm playing them on the money line. That's as easy as my breakdown gets. It's going to be an absolute slap fest in this one. That's what it's going to be, Matt.
I'm joining you. I really am. I think that on the surface, this looks like the biggest trap of the Champions League, and it's a trap that I just have to dive into. I have to, because you're giving me a Lyon side that have been horrendous in Ligue 1. I mean, this is the worst league of the top 5 leagues, unquestionably.
Oh, it's Garbaggio.
It's amazing here. Lyon 2 weeks ago are sitting here. Sorry, actually, Juventus 2 weeks ago, minus 131 on the money line 2 weekends ago. Now they're sitting at minus 106 here. And I think that the value then is starting to come in a little bit on Juve. Real Madrid are really missing Ronaldo when you think about it. And because Ronaldo, what has he done? He scored in 9 straight matches. We're going to break down Real Madrid here in a second, but that is the piece to the puzzle that they're missing, especially against the Man City side. For me, Juve are really starting to come into form here. They're leading a much better league. You're giving me a mid-table side, and
that's a deep league.
I just have to. I have to dive into this one. I don't care if it's a trap. You're giving me around even odds, and I'll take it. I'll dive into a trap then all day. Yeah, I think that this is 2-0 Juve. I think probably. Where is Lyon going to score from on the counter attack?
Matt, I was at your apartment. What was that? Wednesday when they played Mets, and we watched that match. It was one of my plays. Was the over in that match?
Yes,
it didn't get done because Lyon were horrible. Mets were all over them. I watched a full 90. You were with me. They looked awful. They looked horrible, and they lost players since that match. They got more injuries since that match. They were in worse off shape. And you take a Juve side who is just gonna, come in. They're Champions League. They're a Champions League team. They're unquestionably going to move on to the next round, and it starts with this fixture away from home. It's not like Lyon is this horrible place to go play. They haven't lost in 2020 at home, but again, look at the league they're in. It's not like they've been playing, top side.
It's bad, and they're missing their main talisman in Memphis Depay. That's a big miss. I don't care if it was a couple months ago with an ACL injury.
With everything,
they need a player like that to stay in this kind of match. I think that Juve, if they want it, we'll talk about if they have the cojones to come in here, they could end this tie in 90 minutes. They can end this right here, right now. I've already got Juve in a parlay to go through here. They should end this thing now. Lyon, I see this as low scoring. I don't see Lyon scoring. When you were mentioning, I think that you meant to say Chiellini. I think you said Bonucci, but either way. Yeah, I think you said Bonucci, but still, you're right. Chiellini is coming back into the side. What happens to De Ligt here? Big question on his progress as a youngster, the Dutchman. This one, just for me, man, I have to be as square as it comes, and I've got to take Lyon, bet against Lyon here.
Yeah, I can't fault you on that one. We're on the same page here.
Yeah, give it to me minus 105 or 1.95 in this match. I'm glad I didn't take this right off the jump at minus 131, but when you're giving me this, I don't see where is the backability.
That's what I don't understand why people are going to sit there, their computers are on their phone, at night looking at these Champions League matches, and they go, "Oh, I'm going to take Lyon against the old lady." Like,
it's tough for me. Wow. I don't understand where the sharps are coming from on this one. I think that this one is definitely a sharp, public split here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just one of those where I have to trust my gut, and I've got to take the better side over 90 minutes. Give me Ronaldo anytime goal scorer. What was it, Cody? Minus 110.
Yeah, Ronaldo minus or anytime goal scorer was Messi was minus 110. Ronaldo was
plus
he's right around evens, I believe.
right around evens.
It is incredible.
If you want to take that angle, I can't fault you for there. 9 out of 9 Ronaldo scored. Now, guess what? It's a bigger stage.
And it's not a good defensive team. It's Leon.
It's not. This is a mid-table. I think that you could argue
SquarePants.
I think that Lyon they're a mid-table Serie A type of side. So, and right now they're sitting in even a worse league in that same predicament.
And Sarri is a manager who wants to go in and get this thing wrapped and over with because he still has, which I don't know.
As long as Juve don't get caught out on the counterattack, I think that we'll be all right.
They're missing their best counterattack.
They're going to dominate possession here, Juventus. So let's go to this last match here. This is the big boy. This is such a great match. This could be a final, semifinal, quarter, but we get it here in the round of 16. Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, for the first time, is going to take on Zinedine Zidane and Real Madrid side here. We've got a draw no bet. You know, looking at this match back in December, City were favorites to go through, big favorites. It tightened up for a little bit, and now with the Eden Hazard news of the broken fibula, we're looking at Manchester City right back to where they were in December as a minus 125 draw no bet favorite. You can find them on the money line at plus 140. We've got a posted total here of 3 goals. Cody, where are you going here?
All right. So I'm going to lay this one down on you guys right now. So I've never bet this on a podcast, on a video, anywhere, but this is the only way I can really look at this match and go, and I'm going to go ahead and play it because I think it's going to hit. I mean, I feel very good about this. I think there's going to be goals in this match. Don't get me wrong. There will be goals, but these are 2 top clubs. You're going to the Bernabeu, Manchester City, Pep Guardiola. I think there's going to be a lot of feeling out of the match in the first 20 to 30 minutes. I don't think you're going to see one of the teams just absolutely bombarding, going after the other. It's going to be a feeler. So I'm going to sit tight on the first half. I'm going to play the over 1.5 goals in the second half at minus 124. And let me tell you why.
I love that look. Just want to come in for 2 cents. I love that look.
Yeah, and if you look at these 2 teams, you take a deep dive, you'll see that they're better offensively in the second half, and they're worse defensively in the second half. That's how they've been all year in their respective leagues, and why would that shut off in the Champions League? I see, again, 30 minutes of filling each other out, halftime hits, they make adjustments, and they're going to be gunning for it. Real Madrid will be absolutely gunning for it. Zinedine Zidane cannot afford to go to Manchester without some sort of lead or at least some goals. And looking at Real, 58% of their matches have seen over 1.5 goals in the second half. Zidane will need some goals here to have a shot at advancing in Manchester. There have been over 2.5 goals scored in 36 of the last 40 Champions League matches for Real Madrid. Again, that is an absolutely astonishing number. That is incredible. Over 2.5 goals in 36 of the last 40 UCL matches. Granted, they've lost some firepower. Maybe their defense is better, but holy crap. That's just the way it goes with them. You take a look at City. Again, over 1.5 goals in 61% of their matches this year in the second half. That's what they do. Sometimes you're right. And traditionally, if you look back to last year, actually, they were much better at scoring in the first half. You always thought of City, and they would jump on teams. This year, that's not how it's been. Don't ask me why.
I love that look, Cody. I think that might be the best bet of this.
Yeah, and I mean, in the last 60 matches, 12 of them have been over 2.5 goals for City. Pep's going to want a result. He wants to go back to Manchester with some sort of lead as well. It's not like these managers are going to sit there and be like, they can't afford to just sit in on their haunches. They need to go for it. They need something to bring back to the second leg. So
I like where you're headed here. I think that is a really good angle to take. I mean, this is such a great match. Just stepping back from this one. Difficult. I cannot wait to watch this one from a neutral Doesn't matter if you're betting on this match or not. This could be one to stay away from. I think that the bookies have it spot on here. I kind of fancy Real Madrid. If you're going to give me a plus quarter of a goal head start here, I found that at minus 120 at a plus a quarter of a goal head start. This one's tough, though.
Dude, Matt, I'm telling you right now, too, if I had to pick a side, I'm all over. I love Real Madrid. Their players are aging, and they're rolling out players that you've seen for the past 5 years. You're getting Toni Kroos. You're getting, up front Benzema. You're getting Gareth Bale. You're going to go ahead and get Luka Modric. You're going to get Marcelo. You're going to get Varane. You're going to get Ramos. You're going to get Carvajal.
Exactly.
But this is Zidane football. He can rely on these players.
Guess what?
If you're going to pick a side, it's Real Madrid. For me, it's Real Madrid.
Zidane here is going to go to his classic in a big match here. He's going to go to a 4-4-2 here. Well, undoubtedly, you are going to see the normal Courtois, Ramos, Varane, Carvajal. It'll be interesting to see if he plays Mendy or Marcelo. Mendy a little bit better defensively. Marcelo obviously a little bit better offensively. I expect to see a Kroos, Modric, Casemiro here. That's a nice and tight midfield three.
Yeah.
And then I expect him to play Isco kind of through the middle, maybe in a diamond role with Bale on the right, Benzema on the left in terms of striking ability. This is going to be just oh my gosh.
I see him playing. I think he's going to play a 4-3-3.
This is one of those right now.
Matt, if you're going, we should tackle this one. The Marcelo versus Mendy, and I'm with you. He needs to play Marcelo. Marcelo has the most appearances almost of any other player in the Champions League of all time.
I think that this is one of those times where you play Marcelo in the first leg at home, and then if let's say you're leading going into the second leg, I think it's Mendy then on the road playing in that match. But it would be really hard. It would be really hard to do that, by the way. I mean, Marcelo is a staple.
Yeah. And down the right wing, if he's on the left side down the right wing, you're probably going to see Mahrez. It's not like he can't handle Mahrez. I get it if you're facing like somebody like that, but like I think his veteranship, his leadership, his ability, especially when you have players out with Hazard in the lineup, Mendy can play all day. But if you're going to fill him in with like Isco or somebody like that who has played with Marcelo for 3 years, throw him in there.
The Hazard news just reconfirmed to me that he's going 4-4-2 here. He's going to the old classic. This is not going to be anything different than what we've seen in Real Madrid knockout ties. Guys, the last 3 seasons that Zidane has been the coach of Real Madrid, what have they done? Won the Champions League 3 times.
It's the battle of the balls. It's a battle.
This is going to be, oh my God, man. I cannot wait for it. Right now, I'm sitting on the fence. You'll probably see a play from me here on Wednesday in this match. That is why we always ask that you follow us on our Twitter accounts. Me, myself at MattJ_Lawrence. Cody at Squids Picks. We're having a really profitable season, Cody. The Champions League just gets better and better as we go along here. We're only in the round of 16. We've got Europa League on Thursday. We were 6-0 in Europa League last week, guys.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm freaking jacked for Europa League.
I think that the value more so, we can find it out in Europa League with 16 matches to break down. These matches are really sharp. I would say best of luck to everyone in this fixture, in this competition. What are your thoughts here, Cody? What are you doing?
My bad, dude. My dog was on me. Here. No. My thoughts on this one. Wrapping it up. Can't miss match of the week. Real Madrid hosting City. Tomorrow, though, I think your eyes need to be pointing to Napoli at the San Paulo. That's a match of the day. I think it's gonna be a lot tighter than a lot of people expect. That is my favorite one. Chelsea, Bayern Munich could probably be more entertaining if you're a goal scoring guy as a neutral, but I'm a grinder guy. I like Napoli, Barcelona. that's where I'll be.
I think if you're doing it right, you've got the split screen, you're watching both of them, and that is what I expect you to be doing tomorrow. I expect you to be able to come over, Cody.
I'll be watching
We've
both,
gotta-
but I'm just saying. I mean, if you have to
know.
pick one, a lot of
No,
people out here can only pick one of these.
If I had to pick one, it would be Bayern Chelsea because I just think there's going to be more entertainment value, more goals expected there. But who knows? These matches are just they're so good, man. They're so good. These are Elite Eight type of matches, and we're seeing them here in the Sweet 16. Man,
Yeah,
oh man,
I feel kind of bad for Madrid and City for their draw. I mean, that's brutal. That's a final.
it's a tough draw. That is. You know what? I'm not as a Liverpool fan. That makes me even more excited to see this one. Really, somebody's getting knocked out. One of the big boys is going down here. You can find Real Madrid right now to win this competition at 16-1.
Boy, as a Liverpool fan, you better be freaking on your haunches for this next tie.
Oh yeah, no. Talk about what about today against West Ham going down 2-1 in the second half?
You guys got to sort
at Anfield. We've got a lot to figure out here for Liverpool. They are not in the best of forms coming off that winter break. They're going to need to get it right and get it tight here really soon.
No, you better figure that. You better figure your joint out. But before we wrap this thing down, I'm gonna go ahead and shout out my plays. Bayern Munich on the money line. Right now, you can find them at a price of -116. You can get my next play, Juventus at -102. That's what I have them on my book to win. And my last one is the over 1.5 goals in the second half. Do not fuck this up and take it in the first half. The second half, over 1.5 goals at -124 in Madrid versus Manchester City.
Yeah, no, I think that I'll be probably on that play. Not as of right now, but I think that going into that match, over 1.5 goals in the second half, that looks like a banker bet for me. I've got a few different plays. I'm playing right now as of, it's Monday night. I still want to see some lineups. I want to see some things. So I'm playing it a little bit more cautiously here in the Champions League. I've got 4 bets right now, all at half unit stakes as we speak. I think that those stakes could be quickly adjusted, as we know. So for me, I've got 2 bets in Bayern Munich, Chelsea. Over 3 goals at even odds is a half unit play. And I'm playing a squid special, folks. One of only maybe 2 or 3 this season. Both teams to score and Bayern Munich to win plus 230. I like that one a lot. I'm on Napoli here at plus a quarter of a start. Give me the head start here. Napoli -108 half unit. I'm on Juventus on the money line -105 here for a half unit. I think they go into France and take on that porous Ligue 1 side in Lyon. And right now, I've got to say I'm leaning pretty heavily at the same type of bet in Napoli. Give me Real Madrid at plus a quarter of a goal start here. You can find that at like -120 to -130, depending on where you're shopping. I'll probably be in play here for a full unit going into all of these ties, but there's just so much to wait and see here from a lineup perspective for me. I have no problem. I don't think that these lines are moving very much over the next 24 hours. I think that they've kind of moved the way that they're supposed to here. So I've given myself some more time, but I've locked in these plays already on my sports book, and I am super excited about them.
No, I love the plays. The only one I'm against you with is
he's on the Barcelona train.
I just have the shirt, but I think
I couldn't blame anyone. I cannot blame anyone for taking Barcelona at a +120 price.
I think Griezmann is going to make it a point to have his coming out party in Barcelona tomorrow at the Sao Paulo. He's going to make his point. He's going to prove it, and Barcelona is going to roll. But that's all we got for you folks. Champions League. We're going to wrap this one up. We're going to see you in the next round in the quarterfinals. Make sure you listen in. Europa League will be dropping as well tomorrow. Premier League dropping tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of content for you folks. You better listen in. We're hot. Again, we're up over 25 units this year. Make sure you tune into the show. Subscribe to Pub Sports Radio on YouTube. Subscribe to our podcast. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. I don't care where you find it. I don't care if you have to look it up in your telescope on a Tuesday night.
Yes.
Just look it up and follow it.
Bloker Joker podcast.
Yeah.
Join us. Seriously, Cody. That's a great shout.
Yeah, just join it. Follow us. Make sure you follow the Pub Sports again.
Yep. Shout out to Pub Sports Radio.
Hell yeah. Make sure you catch Matt on the Premier League Punters as well in SBR. Great content, great show.
Yeah. It's fun doing that with those guys for sure.
Absolutely it is. So thank you guys so much. We're going to go ahead and see you tomorrow. And Matt, pleasure as always, man.
Always. Thanks, Cody.
Cheers, man. Adios.